Well, hello everybody. This is Baron Southpaw. I want to thank 617 Tactical for sponsoring this video, and I also want to thank the people who did a lot of reviews on the Desert Tech MDR because that influenced my decision to purchase it. And that would be In Range TV and Garand Thumb and the Military Arms channel, as well as the Honest Outlaw. This is basically the first range report for my Desert Tech MDR, where we're trying to answer the question of, was it worth spending all that money on a Gucci gun for someone like myself who makes a fair wage but isn't made of money? Well, first of all, getting to the range was a little like going to Disneyland. Yeah, you waited in line for an hour before you were able to actually do something fun. But was it worth it? Well, the trip was, because I actually had to sight in this weapon. You got to do that. Having a weapon around that you haven't sighted in yet is foolish. Sighting this gun in at this particular trip was a little bit limited because I'm really setting this gun up for a red dot and a magnifier, and my original red dot didn't work, so I'm replacing it. And I have a very short sight radius because it's set up for a red dot, and I have my tactical light set up forward of my front sight. And that's one of the disadvantages of a bullpup. You don't have as much real estate to put all your ninja gadgets on your 1913 rails. So let's get right down to it. In terms of the performance, I really made no adjustments to the gun. I did not adjust the gas block at all. And I did, however, switch the right and left ejects. The Desert Tech is very easy to do that. And I also used the weapon without the forward ejection chute, just the ejector. Okay? And it shot back into the left because I'm left-handed, and that's how I did it. In terms of usability, as I've mentioned before, this gun is a little bit odd. It's not like an AK or an AR. The ejection system in particular is vastly different, and it needs to be for what it does. So there's not a really good established manual of arms in order to deal with malfunctions and stuff like that, like there is with an AK or an AR that have been around for decades, and everyone kind of knows how to clear the jams. The overall performance, I put about 150 rounds through it, and I was pretty impressed / satisfied. I did have a few failures. I had a failure to extract, which I'm quite certain was my fault. And I did have a couple failures to feed, all of which occurred with steel ammo, steel cased ammo in particular. The other thing I noticed is that this gun is very hard on brass. It beats the brass up pretty gnarly. And I'll throw in some pictures here to show that. And with the range report that I have now, I don't think 150 rounds was enough to actually sight it in enough or to break it in enough either. I think they still have work to do, but I think I got a pretty good start on that. In terms of magazines, I used a couple USGI magazines, and they seemed to work just fine. And I also used Lancer magazines, and when I did not have steel cased ammo in the Lancer magazines, they worked pretty good. Accuracy was good. Now, this gun is not a precision gun to begin with, and I'm not setting it up to be a precision gun. I'm setting it up to be what's called minute of man accurate. Summary, you're setting it up to shoot a bad guy from across the house, if God forbid you actually have to do that. So, was the trip worth it? I would think so. I was able to get a leg up on sighting it in, even without my red dot, and it was accurate enough to get the job done if there's unrest and I have to defend my life against a bad person. Hopefully I'll never have to do that. The failures were not unexpected. This gun is well established as needing a break-in period of a couple hundred rounds at least. So, and it's known for not locking steel-cased ammunition. So, especially when it's new. So, I can't really get too disappointed because I anticipated that were going to be hiccups that I have to work through along the way. So, was it worth the big price tag? Well, so far, I'm not disappointed. So far, yes, I think that this has been a gun that has been worth the investment for a quote-unquote one-gun solution. In other words, if you could only buy one gun, would this be it? Well, so far, I think so. Now, I did have some thoughts at the shooting range about whether or not I would be happier with an AK or an AR that I was looking at. I was looking at all those platforms. And even though I did have those thoughts, I don't think that I would have been any happier or less happy than I am with the Desert Tech MDR. That's a question for further videos as soon as I can get an opportunity to get my hands on an AR or an AK to look at more extensively, and I can compare those guns to the MDR. But so far, so good. The jury is still out. Still have a lot of work to do on this gun. I got to take it back in and make sure it's broken in, so about 150 more rounds on that will be necessary. This is Baron Southpaw. I'm signing off, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.